We're talking about people who you've taken a dislike to over the course of their career in management. Jose Mourinho. You weren't particularly fond of him towards the end of his time at Manchester United.
I was fond of him when he was winning trophies.
And he did. And he was the last manager at Manchester United to win trophies. And I wonder whether or not this whole link with PSG is actually legitimate or not. We had Eric Bilderman on from L'Equipe on Sunday, and he was saying, as far as they are concerned in France, the idea of him going to PSG is probably a little bit outlandish. But we do know that Maurizio Pochettino is likely to move on. The new sporting director there is someone that he's worked with before, Luis Campos, who he tried to get into Manchester United, someone who worked with at Real Madrid, and I think that's where the link has come from.
It doesn't Zidane, won't it? It's going to be Zidane, isn't it?
Zidane's going to go to France after the World Cup, isn't it? He wants to be the French national team manager. But do you think we're too quick to write off managers who in the past have been terrific in terms of their achievements because they failed at one or two jobs?
Absolutely. I've been a manager myself. It can't always go well. It doesn't always go well because football doesn't. You got three outcomes. You win, you draw, or you lose, and you have to deal with all of those imposters and give yourself a style. And Mourinho has his style, and it was a defensive style. And two managers are trying to change that because it's not just winning anymore, it's how you win. If you look at Klopp and if you look at Pep and how their teams play, it's better than just winning. They dominate you, they tackle you and they win it back off of you, and they might foul you, but they don't sit on the edge of their own box and block you and then counter-attack. So,
but there is still a place for someone like Jose Mourinho.
Of course there is.
Isn't
This is what I'm trying to say, Sam. If you look at Jose Mourinho, for me, his record is as good as anybody out there. And who's to say that he can't do it? All of this, he's a dinosaur, he can't do the modern day. That's absolute nonsense. But who would want that job? This is what I'm saying. When a player apparently has got a huge contract, massive payoff, he's only 23.
Kylian Mbappe.
And apparently he has a say in what players come and who manages it.
How do you feel about that as a manager?
That's absolutely the beginning of the end. Who would want that job? And would Mourinho really want that job? He'd have a laugh at him, I think. I would love to see it. Because how serious he could get and serious. He'd be, what do you think, Kylian?
Because that is one of the problems with PSG, isn't it? The fact that the dressing room controls what happens elsewhere. And as a result of that, that's probably why they haven't been able to progress any further than what's Champions League semi-finals before.
Absolutely. How good do they think they are instead of going out there and being good? And how much are all of they on and they're underachieving? It's absolutely ridiculous. They can only win in France. They can't win anywhere else.
But also the Champions League is a difficult competition to win. Just ask Pep Guardiola.
So is the European Championships, but don't stop you having a go at everybody who hasn't won that.
The mere fact that any PSG manager is judged simply on if they win the Champions League or not is lunacy.
Well, it might be, but if you are the owners of PSG, it's a given that you win the league every single year. It's a given that you win the League Cup pretty much every year and the French Cup as well. What they want is to win the Champions League. If they're going to do that, they need to plot a course to doing so. And Jose Mourinho has a better pedigree than most in doing that.
Yeah, but if you're asking me, as we sit here now, who is a better manager in 2022, Jose Mourinho or Mauricio Pochettino, I'm going to say Pochettino. I think he's a modern manager. I think Jose Mourinho's methods are outdated. He proved that towards the end of his tenure at Manchester United, and he proved it at Tottenham.
He hasn't won anything, has he, Poch, so far, apart from the French
Apart from
league?
that French league that you said.
How you can say that Poch is a better manager than...
He's a better modern-day manager.
Well, Mourinho has just taken Roma to the Europa Conference League final and won it.
Conference League. Clues in the title.
Okay, Manchester United, how did they get on in that? How did Arsenal get on in European competition this season? No, they weren't in it. Oh, Tottenham, how did they get on in the Conference League?
Well, they got kicked out because they couldn't field a team, if you remember Tottenham. Who knows how that would have worked out?
Yeah, but they wanted to compete in that competition. In fact, they were quite angry about getting kicked out of that competition because winning a European trophy, as you've already pointed out, isn't easy.
No, I said winning the Champions League isn't easy. A club like Roma should be winning the Conference League.
Winning a European trophy isn't easy because not many clubs do it on a regular basis, even the Europa League.
Very true.
And if you look at what he's won, how can you say that Pochettino is a better modern manager than Jose Mourinho? I'm just not having it. I'm sorry, Crookie, I'm not, but there you go. I've done the job and it's tough. and I still know how good he is.
I think Mourinho's time has gone, and that does happen. Look at Arsene Wenger, probably limped on for 5 years too long at Arsenal.
He's just won a European trophy at Roma. He's just made Tammy
won the
Abraham
Conference League.
one of the top. What's your
Tammy
now?
Abraham should be scoring goals in Serie A because he's not as good a league as the Premier League.
Okay, right. Okay, so basically, again, you're just denouncing someone's ability when they've achieved something just because it isn't a Champions League final and it isn't a golden boot in the Premier League.
It's those standards again, high standards.
So are you saying Liverpool had a bad season then because they didn't win that and they, just scraped through 2 cups?
I don't think Liverpool had as good a season on reflection as people think. They won 2 cups on penalties. They didn't win the Champions League. They didn't win the Premier League.
Priceless, isn't he? He's absolutely priceless. And Klopp's got manager of the season and you're not giving it to him at all then, no?
I'd give it to Pep. He won the league.
Well, that's the prerequisite, is it?
I think so.
Does Mourinho Pochettino win the French Manager of the Year? Because he won the league.
I don't know enough about what the other managers in France have achieved this season.
Some people listening to this might say you don't know enough about the rest of it either. Anyway, you are listening to talkSPORT.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.